Evening, folks. Welcome back to the Think It's All Over, your weekly football podcast. I'm Ash, Newcastle supporter through and through. Liam, who probably choked down a lot of sick last night celebrating Liverpool's win. And we've got Paddy representing Scotland. You might be aware that there's no Crippy. He's off, getting hammered by top of the table or something, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
And, poor Andy's stuck at work. So how are you doing, gents?
All good.
All good, mate. All good.
All good in the hood. Right. Yeah, Liam, we've got to talk about last night, man. He must have had mixed feelings. So
it was my granddad's birthday yesterday. We went out for a meal. So half of the family's blue, half of us is red. And as meal came about 7:30ish. So as the game started, we were just finishing eating and we were having like birthday cake and this and that. And I put it on my phone just to see the score. And obviously when I saw Andy's message, I was like, right, okay. So I just looked across the table to my uncle who's a red, which gave him another like 1-0. 2-0.
You thought you had a twitch.
Yeah.
It looked at one point as if the comeback was on, didn't it? Early in the second half, but that was right put to bed 5 minutes later.
I mean, there's definitely no celebrating on my part. I just want to put that out there. No celebrating on my part.
No, I can imagine. It's a bit much in it.
Got to feel for poor Andy, though. That's his team being gubbed with 5 goals or more in the last 2 games. So I think they're banging trouble on all, they know.
Yeah, 2 points above us.
Oh, are they?
Right
So you're right in it as well, Liam?
We're worse.
Oh,
so we're 17th on 27, Forest are 18th on 27, but we've got 10 goals difference between us.
There we go.
Right, I see that. I still can't believe he's rehired Frank Lampard. I thought that was a bit of a strange one.
Chelsea.
Oh no, that was Chelsea, sorry. So it was. Chelsea. See, shows you what I know about football.
I mean, but still, that was weird. Like, well, they've not won since, so.
Anyway, we'll just edit that bit out, Ash, because I think God will go on live.
Yeah, it'd be embarrassing if it all went out live.
It's not the first mistake I've made. I know about the last either.
No, but it's good that you mentioned Chelsea because we are going to mention the fact that they are on for the worst Premier League finish since 1994 under Glenn Hoddle. Wow. I personally find that pretty fucking funny.
I think it's hilarious. Yeah, never liked Chelsea. Bought success. Never really had any. And Ash, you'll be one of the teams as well soon, mate, when you start buying success. But,
yeah, everyone's going to hear us as well.
But do you know what? At least Newcastle and Everton as well, actually, I've got a good form of history, but Chelsea, no for me.
The thing is, as well, we have a passionate fan base behind us. Chelsea never really had that.
100%. That's a big difference. So a lot of the fans for Chelsea, they just latched onto the success that Abramovich brought. At least with Everton, Newcastle fans they're kind of, like you say, loyal, and they've had a fan base for a number of decades.
Yeah, we were all there through the shit, and then
But these are great guns this year, eh?
Oh, still exceeding expectations despite being battered by Crippy's lot on Saturday.
That's true. That was a shock of the result, but you'll get that now and again. Next season will be your season.
And his 3-game season for us, Leicester, Bournemouth and West Ham, 6 points minimum, and hope the bottom 3 or worse. That's how bad it is down there at the minute. Thing is, Bournemouth, I know Andy's like really sort of worried about Bournemouth, isn't he?
I think they're safe, me. I think they've just got that fighting spirit, which Leeds
is
and
definitely lacking at Leicester.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a couple of injuries recently and suspensions, and Ramadan hasn't helped with certain players, but it's what it is. Like our next 3 games, we've got Palace away on Saturday, then we play you boys next Thursday, and then we've got Leicester away. So same for us. Like out of those 9 points, maybe not 6, but I'd expect at least 4.
Oh, you'd want 6, would you know?
Need 4.
You would want
I'd
6.
take 6.
You'd want to beat Leicester.
Want to beat Leicester, but Palace are on a bit of a high at the moment. Obviously, they beat Leeds. I don't want to get the score wrong, but it was either 4 or 5-1 at Leeds. So I can't remember. But yeah, they're in form since White's come back, hasn't he? So
Hodgson's worked wonders.
Who was slagging him off the other day? Probably Collymore, let's be honest. But one of the pundits was slagging Roy off, saying that like he's not going to be around forever. What's the point in bringing him back? So what's the point? Look at what he's done.
He's just proved it.
You only can see them through the end of this season. Like, they haven't hired him on a 20-year contract. They're not that daft.
What is he, 74, 75? He's not there. He's not going to be there for 3 or 4 years. He's there at the end of the season to be a hero again.
Exactly. Just then he can walk away from football forever.
Yeah.
With his head held high. Bless him, the little owl-looking motherfucker. What was said? Oh, yeah, going back to Chelsea, because I just wanted to stick the boot in a bit more. Given the fact that they spent like £500 million and they're now in the bottom half of the league, and I just think that's mint.
I just don't know how they can get away with that. How they can get away with spending so much money.
It proves that money doesn't buy you anything.
Yeah,
evidently.
exactly, yeah.
I mean, you only have to look at us, but we've not spent anything for the last 3 years, so...
Yeah,
that's because you've spent your money in the last 5 or 6 years, though, did you know? Did you spend that kind of money
just
the last 5 seasons?
Just throwing it away at anybody that'll take it.
But yeah, like you said, money can't buy success. And like Paddy was saying there, how did they get away with it? I don't think they have. I think they're going to have to sell a shit ton of players in the summer to balance the books. They'll see Conor Gallagher and Mason Mount will be gone, and then there'll be some other ones that they've actually bought in. They'll have to be turned around. It's going to be almost like when when a team goes down and everyone just starts picking players off them. It's going to be like that. Just like, we'll give you this for them. We know you need the money. Fuck yeah. And as Andy says, 8-year contracts.
I was just thinking along the lines of like kind of financial fair play. I don't know what it's like in England. Do you guys kind of abide by that in that fair league capacity?
Depends on what team you are.
I was thinking that because I'm pretty sure UEFA's guidelines that you can't overspend for what you pull in, and you're not telling me Chelsea pull in £500 million a year in revenue every year, are we?
The fact is, you can make losses of 105 million over 3 seasons, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Any transfers you do, that outlay is spread across the length of the contract, which is why Chelsea are giving out 8-year contracts. So it's 85 million quid for Mudryk over 8 years. It's only 10 million a year on FFP.
Yeah, I get
but,
it. Right.
Like Liam said, it depends on your fucking club whether they enforce it or not. Like Man City get away with it yearly, and Everton, like they're trying to hit them with bricks over it.
Well, what happened to the Man City thing where they had 105 charges or something? Did anything come of that?
Well, that was in January. They're still looking into that.
They're still looking
into that. What I read the other day, half the charges have been looked at and like, well, that's not a reason. That's fake. I think there's only one that they're actually looking at now, but it's the same charge that we got given 3-4 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And I said at the time, for the past 2 years, any transfer we've made in and out of the club, we've gone through the Premier League. So if there's any issues, you don't have to look at themselves and be like, oh wait, how did we miss that one? So you are the ones that said, yes, you can sign him, no, you can't. But now they're trying to get us in trouble because, well, we might stay up again.
Because they're absolute shitbags. Facebook user, I believe it's Perry again, getting a bit happy there about Liverpool last night. It's a bit much in it for poor Andy there to read 6-1 so many times.
Poor Andy.
Yeah, and City have just announced a 300 million stadium enhancement, which led to a brilliant tweet by Domino's, who said, it's like us making the pizza boxes bigger but keeping the pizzas the same size. Genius. Well done, Domino's. I might order one tonight just out of sheer appreciation of that tweet.
They might send you one for free, Ash, for giving them a free plug on your podcast.
Oh, aye. I mean, we tried that the other week with Prime, didn't we, Ash? I'm still waiting.
Still waiting for that phone call from KSI. Anyway, we'll continue on the financial thing and it also feeds into a stadium expansion thing. Fulham are currently building a new stand at the Craven Cottage, and they've just released the price for the season tickets, and some of the tickets are £3,000 for a season ticket at Fulham.
That's unreal.
Are they taking the piss or what? I mean, I know Fulham's an affluent area in London, but not everybody who supports Fulham's a millionaire, surely.
So what do you get for your £3,000? A lap dance and a free beer, or what? What did they give you?
I would expect unlimited drinks and lap dances, blowjobs throughout the game, quickie at half time, Just everything for $3,000. I'd want everything. I'd want gold seats, red carpets, the lot.
But seriously, right? So you're talking
and to watch
$3,000, right?
somebody else other than Fulham for that matter.
So what's that? 20 home games, 19 home games a season.
Yeah, it's about 150 quid a ticket.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable to watch a mid-table team who's likely going to get beat every second home game. That's unreal to charge fans that. How do they get away with it?
I don't think they are. It hasn't gone down very well. Stadium and infrastructure are included in FFP. Good shout, Kev. Alfayed rapping at half time. Yes, a bit of half time entertainment. We want cheerleaders on there at least. Maybe not Alfayed, like. I don't know how they thought it was even probable that people would go for that.
I mean, what's the dearest one at Newcastle and Everton? What's the dearest season ticket you've got there?
But I said on Sunday, I think for a season ticket in the Gladys Street, it's about 550, 570, something like that.
Aye, that's a bit.
Yeah, I think 600's about Newcastle's. I was meant to knock up a slide that showed all the other clubs' most expensive.
Saying that, with the season that we're having, they're actually increasing the season ticket prices for next year. So, makes sense.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Well, I mean, the most expensive one at Celtic starts at £542, works out to be roughly £21 a game. So it does. And I think the cheapest one is, I don't know, let me see, I had it written down. Cheapest one is 50 quid for under 13s. Over 65 is £352. So with that, you don't get the Glasgow derbies, though. You need to pay for that separate.
Really?
So that doesn't include the two derby games. It's 50 quid a ticket for that. So even if you take into account that and you pay the extra £100 for the Rangers games, it's £642 for a season ticket at Celtic Park for an adult, which is still all right when you look at what you're getting. You're getting to watch some good football. You're getting to watch a team wins pretty much every week. And I know people are going to say, because I'm on a podcast covering English Premier League, it's only Scottish football, but you get what you pay for. And that leads you on to, obviously. And that leads you on to what money doesn't buy you success. We've not spent that much money in transfers, but yet we are absolutely playing some brilliant football and getting fans their money's worth.
Just looking on FanBanter now, and Arsenal's most expensive season ticket was $2,500. The cheapest was $891.
I mean, that was one of the most expensive.
London's a lot unto itself anyway, but if you're going to watch a top team, $2,500, maybe brand new stadium and all that. But what the Fulham? Who do they think they are? Who wants to pay $3,000 to watch Mitrovic get a red card?
Our most expensive is 690, and that's one behind the goal of the park end and one in the main stand.
Yeah,
and the park end, you may as well just sit in a library. Don't want to be there.
The thing that gets me, and this, I think I put it on the list, if this goes through and it works, other clubs are going to follow suit. It's going to set a dangerous trend, and it's going to price the working man out of football. And there's not more working class in football.
I was about to say that. I mean, it's not a working class game anymore, is it? I remember going to Celtic Park when I was wee and used to get lifted there the turnstiles. If you were wee enough, you get in for free. I don't know how that worked in England, if it ever happened in England before they brought in all-seater stadiums. But with Celtic Park, it used to be one side of the stadium. Well, in fact, all the stadium was standing apart from the main stand. I used to go to Jungle, was where all the singing was. The bit you probably associate with the Green Brigade, we called it the Jungle back when I was wee. And even then, I just went because I loved the atmosphere of that kind of part of the stadium. I mean, you're talking about working class men who've been to work all week, they go to football at half a bit of steam and singing, dancing, and you can just go and enjoy yourself for 90 minutes, throw abuse at the opposition fans. Oh, that's gone now. And if you say if £3,000 a season ticket is going to become the norm, which as a man for Scotland looking at the money already swimming about in English football, baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. I don't get why you would even need to, never mind want to charge that. It's unreal.
To be honest, I don't even think you need to be from Scotland to find it fucking abhorrent.
Well, aye, that's true. When you look at the German model, look at Bayern Munich, I think they charge £100 a season. and with that you get your free transport to and from the games as well, and I'm pretty sure you get a beer in the stadium. £100
Yeah,
for a season ticket.
Season tickets $25.81 a month on Sky Sports. It's a lot drier there as well, in every sense of the word.
I think that Facebook users talk rubbish. That's why they've blanked their face at. I think it's a lot more expensive.
Definitely talking rubbish here. Chelsea spent more money on management than any other club because they can't play a good game of football and someone getting slapped. Look at Liverpool. We've not spent a lot of money, but look at where we are.
I love that. Liverpool have not spent a lot of money, but they spent this season in excess of what, £300 million.
Don't get me started on Liverpool fans not spending a lot of money. I have the same conversation with Jack every week until he gets bored.
They spent fortunes, and also look where we are. Right? Okay, let's look where we are. I've got the top half of the table here. 8th, like literally 3 places above Chelsea.
Yeah, and I'm sure they've spent about 300 million.
Easy.
Oh, 200 million. I think not 300. I think 200 million.
Well, if you go through the starting 11, Alisson was one of the most expensive keepers. Van Dijk was the most expensive defender when they signed him. They got Fabinho in front of him. It was 60 million. Yeah, 60 million in front of him with Fabinho. Salah was 30. Luis Diaz was 40. Don't we'll start on Darwin Núñez.
Yeah.
He was 85, wasn't he? Darwin Núñez. I'm sure he was 85. Stupid money, absolutely stupid money.
But they haven't spent a lot.
No.
Different world, Liverpool fans, man. Liverpool bringing Núñez, Firmino, Diaz, and Thiago. We bring in Adam Forshaw, who actually sounds like a Land Rover sales dealership. Did anyone see the gender reveal? The gender reveal.
That's quite good. I like that.
That was good. Yeah, what the fuck, man? These people annoy me. These just stop oil wankers. It's like nobody's on the other side of your argument, lads. No. It's not the working man that you need to convince. It's not the people watching the snooker or the football you need to convince. It's the fuckers who are profiting off this shit that you need to convince. They're not at the football. They're not at the snooker.
All they're doing is basically alienating the working man by attacking the working man's sports.
It's Mr. Ritchie, that was. Yeah, exactly. Like, keep it out of sports. I mean, what was the other one?
Down the street. That's what today. Go and change yourself down the street. Go and take a shit in Boris Johnson's garden. Go and do something like that. Don't be fucking interrupting the football and the snooker.
I would do that just for the.
I mean, to be fair, the last person that did it at a football game was last year, and give him a round of applause. Like, he post at Goodison Park. He scored in the 99th minute. We'll take that.
Yeah,
I've heard he's coming back next Thursday.
I'll be pulling that fucking zip tie tighter. There's Richie said hello there, Paddy. Oh, Jack is here. Look. Jack has arrived. Someone opening a bag of crisps. What else have we got? Got many a thing. Let's talk about Scotland a wee bit.
Okay.
Obviously, this is your first season with VAR up in the SPL.
Yeah.
Are you having as much fun with it as we are down here?
Let's just say VAR has probably been the biggest waste of time, biggest waste of money, and the biggest fuck up to ever hit Scottish football ever. And I'm being genuinely serious on that, and I think every single football fan feels the same across the whole board. Some of the decisions we see up here, I think you guys would just laugh at, absolutely laugh at.
So is it VAR or the people that?
It's no VAR, mate. It's the people in charge. The technology works, right? It's the guys that are actually enforcing the rules of the game. What they're doing up here is they're looking for reasons to chop off goals. That's that. Yep. They don't look for reasons. So they're not looking for clear and obvious errors. They're looking for any error to kind of chop off a goal. And honest to God, boys, if he's watched it for just a weekend up here, you would just laugh your asses off. The difference between us and you guys is you have got about 15 cameras at a game or something like that to do VR. We've got 5. Yeah. 5 cameras.
We've got like 15. It's still not enough for them.
No. See if I had been more prepared, I'd have sent you a still shot, a VAR decision made up here in one of our games, right? Celtic against Motherwell. It was at Fir Park. The Fir Park's not the biggest stadium. They had 3 cameras, I think. 4 cameras at the game, 1 in the touchline. They had Hawkeye on either end. And the still they used was a camera on the halfway line and used it to determine an offside decision against one of the players 30 yards up the park. And they drew their wee lines. Honestly, then do you know why they had to use the camera at halfway line? Because the only other camera they used had failed. That was it. It had failed.
Well, then you just don't use it, do you?
Aye. They brought it in halfway through the season. They brought it in October. So we'd already played like 15 games during the season. They decided to bring it in a month before the World Cup. For whatever reason, the clubs voted for that as well. I mean, I'm all for VAR if it's used properly. But honest to God, it's an absolute shit show in Scotland. You would not believe. Ash, I challenge you to spend a couple of hours on Saturday, maybe watch Sports Scene. You'll get it on you'll get it on your subscription. Just watch Sports Scene for half an hour on Saturday night and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll be guaranteed to see something.
There's got to be a video on YouTube now, the most bullshit VAR decisions.
Oh, you'll see them.
We got it down here as well.
Well, I heard about one against, was it Tottenham and Brighton, was just a ridiculous one. And I've not seen it, but there was a lot of
in that game alone.
Stamped on his foot. There was 5 or 6. There was a one when Newcastle scored against Tottenham and VAR looked at it for ages and they checked the handball, they checked an offside, they checked everything just to try and rule the goal out, but eventually couldn't find anything. It's like you said, sometimes they're just using it to try and kill the game, or to try and make the favourites win, maybe.
Well, I've been saying for ages, VAR is there to not fix games, but make things more interesting. The title race has gone down to the wire. There's now 5 teams in a relegation scrap. There's 8 teams chasing for Europe. And it always seems to be in those games where there's an issue, like Brighton versus Tottenham the other week. Last night, Leeds versus Liverpool had implications in the relegation zone. And then Forest and United. In those 2 games alone, there was 2 handball decisions which didn't go to the relegation sides.
There's
one
definitely...
trouble.
Well, yeah, we're going to bring us onto the handball thing because it's kind of VAR. It's kind of just, does anybody even know the rule anymore? It's 3 incidents of handball that VAR got involved in. One of them there is clearly not handball, and that was the only one that was given. Like, do they even know what the rule is at this point? I used an image of some rugby dude for the thumbnail for this video because that's where I'm going. I mean, Andy called Trent Alexander there LeBron James. And it really pissed me off. Like, I watched the highlights last night and it really fucking pissed me off. The commentator was like, oh, it was too far back. That's why VAR haven't called it back. It's too far back to make a decision.
Because it didn't lead directly to the goal.
It directly led to the goal. If the referee had given that free kick, then he couldn't have gone on and scored. Like teed up whoever it was who scored. It was a direct involvement. That handball led to the goal. There's no possible way that anybody could interpret it any other way. Am I wrong?
It's ridiculous. I just don't understand it. I mean, we had the goal the other week against Brentford disallowed because the ball hit Damari Gray's pec, but then because it hit here, it looked like it hit his arm. He got the ball hit at him. He can't move. He's a yard away.
We had Callum Wilson's disallowed goal last week, and Mitoma's, both exactly the same, both hit above the sleeve, not given. Like, why?
Well, we had 2 penalties given against us. One at Celtic Park, where the defenders challenged for the ball. So as you know, as you jump for the ball, you use your arms for leverage. The penalty that was given against him was from his arm. It was behind him when he was jumping up. So the ball hit his arm behind him. And the referee the VAR guys deemed that as a penalty. We had also one where Matt O'Reilly was in the edge of the 18-yard box. His hands were down at his side. The ball was played off his hand, gave him a penalty. In what world is that a penalty?
You're getting penalised for having arms.
Aye. And you see defenders going now with their arms behind their back, which is and they talk about your arm in an unnatural position. That's the most unnatural position you could be as a defender with your hands tied behind your fucking back. Unless you're a grinder.
In the Villa Newcastle game on the weekend. I'm sure I was watching the ball someone tried to cross it in. Trippier was stood.
Trippier went with his arms
and
behind
he
his
asked
back.
for a penalty. He's like, "Well, your arms are behind my back. Come on."
Yeah, like what are they supposed to do? Like the ball's getting pinged at them 90 mile an hour from 2 foot away. If it hits their arm, it hits their arm. There's nothing they can do about it. Nobody's reflexes are that quick. It needs addressing. It needs fucking rewriting.
I've sent you. I don't know if you could put it up, Ash, on the screen, but I sent you that offside decision on Messenger there. The still they used. Right. Wait, you see it. I don't know if you can put it on the screen, and you will not believe what they used to determine offside. That's how bad your VAR is. Can you put that on the screen now?
I'm going to get this up. Yeah, this is genius.
Honestly, God, man. And then, so that's the sort of nonsense we're putting up way up in Scotland. And I'm only talking from a Celtic perspective. There'll be teams out there that will say we suffer as well, and they do. The only team that seems to be not suffering with VAR in Scotland is Rangers.
I'm glad you said that, Paddy, because I've got a question. So in the game that was on the other day between you two, Morales' goal, what was up with it?
Well, do you know what? There's 2 skills I thought there, I suppose, right? If that was against my team, I wouldn't be happy, right? But then you've got to think to yourself, did the 2 of them are grappling, but at the point where the ball came over, did Morelos put his hands on Alistair Johnson's back and push him? Aye, he did. Is it a foul? Aye, he did. It's soft, but it's a foul, right? And the best way you can think about it is, if you boil an egg and the yolk in it is soft, is it boiled or is it not? Of course it's boiled. It doesn't matter whether it's soft or hard. It's a boiled egg. So, he's
had this prepared, hasn't
he? He was waiting for that one.
I always think of myself as a fair-minded Celtic fan, right? And I don't buy into. Like, I love slagging Rangers and I love kind of putting a bit in and again, but I always find myself to be a fair-minded fan when it comes to kind of football decisions.
Did you think it was harsh? Do you think it should have been disallowed?
But a laws of the game, it should have been disallowed. Aye, but if it was against my team, if it was against Celtic, I would have been raging. But I could understand why it was given. Do you know what I mean? I think the biggest point that they were trying to make up here was it didn't go to VAR. The reason why it didn't go to VAR is because it wasn't a clear and obvious error by the referee. That's why VAR didn't intervene. The decision was correct.
Did the ball go in the net before the referee blew, or did he blow before it? Because down here, what they're saying is let the ball go dead, and then we'll look at it. Because as soon as the referee's blown his whistle, the game's supposed to stop.
Liam, I would need to double check, mate. I can't say for sure 100% that the ref blew his whistle before the ball hit the back of the net. But what the referee did was he made his decision pretty quick.
Yeah,
it was made quick. It wasn't as if he waited to something happened or a break in the play. It was made quick. Whether it was made before the ball went into the back of the net, I honestly couldn't tell you, mate. I don't know.
Right.
But like I said, it was a foul. End of story. That's it.
Liam, are you ready for this offside picture?
We'll see.
Get a look at that angle. Now, even so,
the shadow which is behind the more well player. Yeah, that one. Is that what he's saying? He's offside.
Yeah, and it's in front of the Celtic player. See it?
Yeah.
You can't see him now, so I'm not doing that for. So that was the angle they used to determine an offside up here because one of the VAR cameras failed. Honestly, you would not believe the kind of decisions that are being given. People are getting handball decisions up here against them that another team in Scotland aren't getting against them, and it's just a bit mental. Now, when I say the other team in Scotland, you know who I'm talking about? It's the only team in the country that's not had a penalty awarded against them, and they've had probably the most handballs in their 18-yard box. So I don't know.
Wow.
I was going to ask if you found that VAR sort of weighted more decisions towards Celtic or against Celtic, but I think you just answered it there.
Do you know? See, I would say, obviously, I've got my Celtic hat on, and you always talk passionately about your team. And I could probably name 5 or 6 decisions that have went against us that have never went against the other team in Glasgow, and that's the frustrating part. The frustrating part for us is the consistency. If it's going to be shit, it should be shit across the board, but it's not. It's only shit for a select amount of teams, and I think that's a problem. So, it's I would say we've suffered more, but what we've had is probably the most high profile decisions go against us because of
how many apologies have you had so far? Or you don't? Did you not get them yet?
Nah, we don't get them yet. We don't deal with that in Scotland. We don't have a representative like Howard Webb that comes out.
I think we've had about 6 so far.
Aye, we don't do that. We just get told to move on.
We've had 6 apologies.
Aye, we
surely if you get 5, you should get 3 points, shouldn't
you? Yeah.
I think if you get 5, get to keep the ball. Do you not? Or is that 3?
Something like that. Yeah. Evening, Faz. How's it going, Sam? Right, we've still got shitloads to get through here. We're only halfway through. Have Tottenham thrown away top 4? Newcastle are 3 points clear with a game in hand. No, not yet. But the next 2 weeks are going to be very telling for this.
Who have they got, Ash?
Tottenham have got us on Sunday. So if we beat them, then obviously that's a 6-point gap. And then the next week they've got Man United. And if Man United beat them, they're out of it. They're out of the top 4 race.
If you beat them, they're out of it, mate. I can't see them recovering for that.
I can't either. And we've still got a game in hand over them as well. So
exactly.
I don't know. I'm pretty confident on Newcastle getting the top 4. But the one team I'm more concerned about nicking it now is Aston Villa.
Nah. Man, surely not. You surely are not concerned about that. You're 6 points ahead of a game in hand.
I know, but Villa are just on a charge at the minute.
How many games have Brighton got to play as well? Brighton have got a few games in hand as well.
Brighton still got games in hand.
2 on top of Tottenham.
Yeah, they got 2 over Tottenham, 1 over us. One of those games in hand over Tottenham is us.
Right.
It still hasn't been arranged. Yeah, Brighton are still in and around. Villa, like I say, are making a late charge. People are still backing Liverpool to maybe get 5th. I don't think they'll nick 4th, but I don't know. It's.
I would say Liverpool are definitely out of it. Brighton are out of it, depending on how you've got on with Tottenham. I think Aston Villa, Tottenham out there. Newcastle are just. They're just too consistent. Okay, they get beat on Sunday there, but ever since before that, what was that, 4 or 5 wins in a row, wasn't it?
5 in a row, yeah.
Aye. I mean, you're always going to get a blip in the road, but I just can't see Newcastle throwing it away. It just,
I mean, I can't either.
I just think it's amazing Man United are still there. I just can't believe they've recovered for the season, how they started the season, and they're still in it.
We've got a good point about that one coming up as well. But I've just read here that Aston Villa's top 6 hopes could be dashed by a difficult run-in. Man United, Tottenham, Liverpool, and Brighton. All right, fair enough. I'm not worried about Villa anymore. I didn't see that before. Yeah, fuck Villa. They're toast. Sorry, Crippy. Forest have got Liverpool and Brighton next, so a gap to safety could open up if they keep losing. You think?
I hope so. But the thing is, us and Andy or Leeds need to win our games. That's the issue.
Do you think you'll go down here, Liam? Do you think you've got enough in you to kind of stay up?
It all depends on which team from Bipolar FC turns up, because they're just, honest to God, yeah, you love them but you hate them. That's what it is. The weekend was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from an Everton team. Dyche got his tactics completely wrong, but then we went to Chelsea a couple of weeks ago and got a 2-2 draw. Like, how? It makes no sense. But then when the back's against the wall, like, sometimes we pull it out, but with the rumours going around yesterday and today, apparently a takeover is close, so the board members might be getting all kicked out. So Ken writing that. So if that's the case, nothing's going to get the fans on side a lot quicker than that will. So that's the only thing we're waiting for. Yeah, knowing that they might be gone. We kept them up last season. The fans kept them up last season. Them and Richarlison. But at this moment in time, we got beat on the weekend. I wasn't even annoyed. I was just like, that's what it is. Just sort of fed up. Like, got no emotion for it.
Yeah, it knocks the wind out of you being down there, doesn't it? It's like you stop caring until you have to.
Yeah. It will go down to the last game. We've got Bournemouth last game of the season. And if we have to win that to stay up, yeah, I don't know where I'll be.
I remember being in the podcast with you guys a few months back, and I said to you at the time, Liam, that you should have signed Moussa Dembele. If you signed that guy, he'd keep you up. I still believe that. I still stand by that. If he'd have just put a couple of £1 million and signed Dembele, he would have stayed up, paid him $150,000 a week, he'd have been safe.
From the rumours that came around was apparently he said he didn't want to come in not knowing next season what was the situation.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I think he would have gave you enough firepower up there to keep you up.
I mean, there's so many issues. So the week before deadline day, Mashiri, our owner, had an interview, and they asked him, like, we need a striker. Calvert-Lewin's injured, we've got no striker. He was like, I will buy you a striker. On deadline day, we were selling Neil Maupay until Lampard got sacked.
Yeah.
So we were going into the final stretch of the season, having sold Gordon, and we're selling our only other striker, while the other one's sat on the physio. So we had no striker going into the last half of the season. The only person we had was Ellis Sims, who came back from loan, because we called him back because we had no one. So it's just an absolute, shit
what
show.
the fuck?
And it's a shame, though, because you're getting your stuff together after part with a new stadium. We've assumed if he's went down next season.
Yeah.
That'd be a crying shame.
Well, this is the issue. So a lot of fans saying this could be the last ever season that Premier League at Goodison. Next season is going to be our last season at Goodison, full season. So we have to do everything we can to stay up, and it's just absolutely, like I said, it's just soul destroying because it's not even asked. Exactly. I mean, watched him on the weekend. I don't know if Ashley got it, but I sent a picture of him. He was 1-on-1. All he has to do is hit the anywhere but the keeper, and all he hit was the keeper.
That's confidence, but isn't it? It's just sheer confidence.
Yeah. I mean, I said that at the time. I was like, if that goes in, he probably gets another 2. Or if he'd been on a little bit of a goal scoring form, but he scored once this season.
Wow.
Says everything. So
that's unreal, man.
And that's why we're in the shit, because we can't score goals.
Stats Mark there, what he thought about Villa, where they're going to finish. He's got them finishing 8th, with Brighton having 2 games in hand and Liverpool another one, and he has to play them. But it's a tough run in for Villa, but I don't know. Unai Emery's just got them firing.
You just wonder. You just wonder if they'd have got him in earlier instead of bringing in Gerrard, where they would be now. That's unbelievable, isn't it, with the job he's done there?
At least it's still in their hands, just.
Oh, Andy, I wish I shared your confidence, mate, after the last 2 events, man. Genuinely, and I absolutely am desperate to see Leeds and Everton stay up, but I don't know, man. I think that result last night's probably killed their confidence as well as the one before, the 6-1 defeat as well.
He looked. He did a little video for us today, and he looked like remotely happy. Considering
there's a reason he had shades on. He probably.
I think. Yeah, I see his bright red eyes behind his mirrored shades. But bless him. Villa were linked with Maupay. So pleased he went in the direction. That's a bullet dodged. Let's be honest. But he's got a point though. That is the kind of thing Leeds do. Isn't it?
Yeah,
there will be something stupid like that. But I think every team down the bottom is going to have one of those results. What have we got here about Wolves? Only 7 clubs have picked up more points in the Premier League than Wolves since the new year. And I still back them to lose every week. Except for that one time. This is the one we were on about Man United before. I want to get on to, is it Rio Ferdinand talking absolute horse shit once again. Rio Ferdinand says that Arsenal are bottling it, and Man United have had a better season than Arsenal if they don't win the league.
So what he said basically is, if Arsenal don't win the league and they finish second, United finish third, from a United point of view, or from an outside point of view, Man United have a better season because they've won the cup, and at the end of the day, they got that trophy. When you look back at history of that season, City won the league, United won the cup, Arsenal, well, you're not going to see them. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose he's actually got a point there. I was just thinking purely from a league perspective. I was like, how can you say that somebody who finished above you had a worse season? But yeah, with a cup win as well.
The main argument was because they've got the League Cup.
And they're still in Europe.
I would agree with that. Any sort of silverware in your cabinet is a better season, isn't it? Any sort of, and what that will do is for Man United, was it'll spur them on for next season, because when you look where they started off at the start of the season, the shit they were in. And it's like I was saying to you, Ash, again, the last time I was on the podcast, what you want to do is get that first trophy under your belt. Once you get that first trophy under your belt, it's a kickstart to bigger things. So, I was gutted for you guys when you lost that cup final.
We need to win the league because we just cannot handle Wembley. It's just some kind of thing over Wembley that it doesn't even matter if it's the same team, same players, same manager, same owner. We just crumble. It's just like there's something in our DNA. So yeah, we need to win a league, and then that might spur us on to, I don't know, dare to dream.
But in the summer's going to be huge for you guys, though, isn't it? That will determine whether or not you have got enough in your tank to beat Man City or to the league. Because I think Man City are going to win it. I think they're going to.
I think Man City are on for it.
Aye. And the only reason why I think that is because I'm only speaking for like I don't know, my knowledge of the Arsenal squad, which isn't the best, to be honest, right? But how many players on that side have won the league? I've actually been in there and had that mentality to go and win a league, to be in a race. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there'd be many.
I think the ones who have won it for City.
Yeah.
What one's that? Sorry.
Zinchenko and Jesus. They're the only two that he signed in the summer from City.
Yep, there you go. I mean, Arteta himself has got experience winning the league with Rangers. Tierney's got experience with Celtic, but other than that, like you say, there's nobody there. Whereas Man City are just full of players that have been there and done it, and they've ran the course at there. So that's why I think will take them near the finishing line.
No, that's my thinking as well. But it just
I
came
hate
out
Man
yesterday.
City as well. Just to put that in the record, I hate Man City.
So it proper sticks in your craw.
Aye.
It came out yesterday that apparently Newcastle have abandoned their transfer plan for the summer, which was to give Eddie Howe 20 million and tell him to raise the rest by selling players. Now they've said, just gonna get 4 top-end players if you want. Go spend whatever you want. So it is going to be an interesting summer. Who those 4 players end up being, I don't know. But there was a nice list of 16 that was given in the Telegraph.
I'll tell you who's a good player you should sign. Neil Maupay.
Neil Maupay,
Actually,
I heard he's dynamic, mate. I heard he's a fox in the box, that guy, isn't he?
He said, Neil Maupay, I'm just...
the next Francis Jeffers, I heard.
I'm just waiting for Jack to say Rondon.
The guy couldn't score in Amsterdam, do you know what I mean? But
I think we've covered everything now. Yeah. Bamford's available. I don't think that Newcastle's RVI hospital is big enough to deal with Bamford's medical issues, to be quite honest. Let's get on to some... Oh, actually, no. Before we get on to score predictions, I have got this, which is the relegation odds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think that bottom 3 is my favourite 3 to go down. But Everton, not looking good, is it?
Nah, you're almost 50-50, which is a shame.
They did say last week that I think everyone below Palace is still in it, but it looks like West Ham and Wolves have dragged themselves out of it now. So, Liam, you said you think Bournemouth's safe?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bournemouth is safe. They've just got that fighting spirit, but I just want to know who our 2 wins and draw is against. Yeah, 2 wins,
Probably.
2 draws.
You'll probably beat us.
There's only 7 games left.
What is this? Yeah, Kev's saying we need a central defender, left back, and 2 wingers. Let's try and think.
So what do you
Sorry,
think?
centre midfield, not defensive midfield. Who do I think?
You guys will sign Kieran Tierney?
Yes.
Aye.
I hope we do anyway. I love Kieran Tierney. I know he's a bit injury prone, but he's class.
Paddy's not your boss anymore, you know. You don't have to suck up to him.
He does know a class player when he sees one, though. I mean, 30 million quid, mate, if you get him for 30 million pounds, you're robbing Arsenal. Absolutely robbing Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few I've written about this week that like we could literally steal players because of stupid release clauses, and there's a lot to be found out there. But I just did a report on one today I've never even heard of, but what's his name? Carlos Augusto. Plays for Monza, left winger, like left wing back. sounds phenomenal. Never even heard of him. He could be like Brighton have this amazing ability to just pluck players out of nowhere and they come and turn the Premier League upside down. And I'm hoping he could be one of those if it's somebody we're genuinely interested in. It's such a shame that the Chowdhury rumours are consigned days. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Cheers. Yeah. Don't know if you remember that Newcastle were chasing Chowdhury from Leicester for ages.
Yeah, Chowdhury.
Couldn't afford the £1 million loan fee. Oh, sorry, wow. Mike actually wouldn't authorise the £1 million loan fee. But every transfer window, Steve Bruce was trying to get Chowdhury from Leicester.
I think his first ever game was against like Man United, and I think he got man of the match because he sticks out like a sore thumb. He's about 5 foot and he's got an afro like that. But I remember his game; he was class. Ever since then, he's done nothing. Yeah.
The only thing I would say about what you spoke about there, Ash, is don't speak ill of Mike Ashley. Celtic fans love him. Absolutely love him.
I bet they do, yeah.
He's stiffed Rangers something rotten, and I'm pretty sure he's still doing it right now. We love the guy. We think he's a hero, a legend.
You can have him then.
We'll have no bad mouthing of Mike Ashley on here.
I could make an entire channel bad mouthing that fact. Grimaldo on a free for left back would be exceptional. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like players like Grimaldo on a free, mental.
Good on Football Manager.
No excuse, Everton. No excuse. The players are there. No. Right, let's get into some score predictions. We've got a Friday night kickoff, which is novel. Arsenal versus Southampton. So this is like top versus bottom. Well, it is top versus bottom. It's not top versus bottom. Liam, what do you think?
I'm going to go sensible. We need Arsenal to win. I'm saying me and Andy need Arsenal to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be comfortable 3-0.
It's exactly what I've got as well. Paddy, what are your...
I think it's going to be more than that. Looking at how many goals Southampton are shipping, minus 29 for the season, you're talking 4 or 5.
Andy's gone with 4.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Mark's gone 3.
But I don't think that would have much bearing on you guys staying up or down. I think Southampton are down anyway. So you really just need to worry about Nottingham Forest and Leicester, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, as long as all the teams below us keep losing, that's all I'm bothered about.
Yeah,
that's all we need in 3 things.
As long as we don't get a worse result than them, I'm happy. I would happily stay up now with 1 goal difference.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it's all that matters, isn't it?
I would be a nervous wreck come the final game.
You take it after you hit somebody off. Well, definitely, mate. You take the ball ricochet off of somebody's balls. Do you know what I mean? Just if it kept you up, absolutely 100%.
Exactly. It doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter. Like they always say with goals, doesn't matter how they go in. It's still a goal.
As long as VAR say it's no. As long as VAR don't deal with being ball.
Fucking VAR. Right then, let's upset Andy. Fulham versus Leeds, Paddy.
Oh, Andy, I'm sorry, mate. I think that's got to be a draw. When you look at Fulham's last result, they won and they lost to 4 before that, didn't they? Leeds have been a bit indifferent up and down. I think that's a draw.
Classic JWP free kick for Southampton. No, Andy's with you. He's got 1-1 on that as well.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you probably take a draw.
Yeah, it's a point, isn't it, at the end of the day? Mark gone with a 2-2 draw. Liam?
I love how Paddy realised that Fulham lost the previous 4 games and had to beat us, you know. Just had to happen.
Is that who they
threw that in there.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't even know that, mate. Region.
I reckon Leeds will get something as well. I'll go 1-1.
1-1. I've gone 1-0 Fulham. Sorry, Andy. So sorry, mate. But off the back of the 2 poundings you've had, I think 1-0 is still a decent result. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, but no. Brentford versus Villa. Ooh, tough one, this one, actually. Liam, what do you think?
2-1 Brentford.
Ooh.
Kirby's not here, he can't cry, can he? So.
I'm going
It
to
gave
go
it spicy
Brentford.
last week, didn't it? No one Brentford as well.
A Brentford win with big Chris Ayer jumping up like a salmon to nod down the back post.
I forgot about your fucking Celtic connection predictions.
Yeah, I'm telling you now. Plus, we hate Villa because of Steven
Oh, for
Gerrard.
Christ's sake, I just realised we were playing half of Celtic X teams on him.
Andy's back in a Villa 2-1, as is Mark. I just said it was a tight one, and then I realised I've got Villa to win 3-1, so I'm just full of shit, basically. Yeah.
Go on.
Palace
and then Edouard. Go on, get it out.
Well, seeing that Edouard's not been in the best form though. He's only scored one goal in. When was the last time he scored before? Was it 2 weeks ago he scored, didn't he? So he's not in the best form. Was that against Leeds, was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you know what? Where are Palace no lead? Let's see. Palace. Oh, where are they? They won the last 3, lost the last 3 before that. A draw. That's got a draw written there, isn't it? That's a draw for me.
Take that all day.
Andy's got a 1-1 on that one as well.
Yeah.
Mark, not so nice. Got 2-0 to Palace. I have got also 2-1 Palace. But you know what happens when I'm back against Everton. So I'm doing it for you.
Well, Calvert-Lewin should be back. Decore should be back. Onana should be back. We should have a full shrimp side.
Who are Andy?
I feel for the guy, honestly.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Desmond's for
Like Desmond. William. Nice one.
Interesting one. Leicester versus Wolves.
Fuck Leicester. Wolves 5-0.
Given what we said earlier on as well about Wolves since the new year, it's got to be Wolves, hasn't it?
Aye. Fucking hate Leicester.
Says. I've got 1-0
If
Leicester.
they lose now, we know who to blame.
What have you got against Leicester?
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Do you remember who abandoned Celtic in the middle of a treble season?
No. Who was that?
Brendan Rodgers.
Oh, Brendan Rodgers, yeah.
After February,
that
I was
brilliant manager.
I was an Australian holiday, right? And I'd woke up to the news. Brendan Rodgers had left Celtic to go to Leicester. I was like, there's no way he'd go to Leicester. Absolute pile of nonsense. What do I want to go there for? And turns out he went to Leicester, and what he tried to do was, allegedly, I've got to add before, in case Brendan Rodgers' lawyers are watching, because we know somebody else's lawyers at Celtic were watching or read my articles when I got a letter through one time. So, no, did I ever tell you that story? No, I'll tell you that story.
Tell me about it.
I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about that off air. Apparently, what he tried to do was he tried to take down the whole coaching team and Callum McGregor as well. Callum McGregor told him to bolt, and so did the coaching staff.
Nice.
That was in the middle of a historic treble season in February. It was in February of that year. He could have waited. He could have waited to go, but he chose to leave in February because apparently he was told that it's either you come now or you don't get offered the job at all. I
didn't realise he went mid-season.
Yeah, mid-season, 8 games to go or something. We're in the Scottish Cup final, I think, and he chose to leave in the middle of the night. That's why I hate him.
Bag. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough on that one.
So fuck Leicester.
Yeah, fuck Leicester.
Andy 5-0. Andy 5-0.
I'm going to change mine. Fuck Leicester. I'm going 1-0 Wolves as well.
We will take a 5-0 just for the goal difference.
Right, definitely.
I think it'll be a 2-1 Wolves.
What have we got here? Villa haven't beaten Brentford at their place since 19. Oh shit!
Wow.
Oh, I should change that.
Told you, big Chris Ayer, big salmon. Back post.
Mark's gone 2-1 Leicester. No, fuck Leicester, Mark. Have you not been paying attention? Liverpool Forest is up next. Liam, how's this one going? After your night in the pub supporting Liverpool.
Never support that team. Who's the striker that plays for Forest that used to play for them as well? You know he's going to bag, isn't he? Like 1-0 Forest. The striker that plays for Forest, Iwo, he used to play for them, but he never played for them.
Jordan Ayew, yeah.
No. Iwo. It's not Ayew.
Iwo.
Is it Timo Iwo? Is that the guy? Is it something like that? No, am I talking rubbish?
I'll tell you now.
About. So you should be, Mark. So you should be. Andy's going big. Liverpool 3-0. Mark matching him.
Yeah, I'm going to go, because Forest has signed Ross Wilson for Rangers, I'm going to say fuck Forest as well. 4-0.
There we go. Mark's beat you to it. A 1 year.
There it is.
I won you.
I was just copying and pasting it. He used to play for Liverpool, but he never played for them because he didn't have a work permit, I think it was. So yeah, Forest 1-0.
Yeah, fair dues. What was yours there, Paddy? Sorry?
4-0 Liverpool. And that's only because there's a Rangers connection in Forest. I quite like Forest as well because Martin O'Neill used to play for them. And so did John Robertson. They won European Cup. But nah, fuck them. They've got Ross Wilson for Rangers. 4-0 Liverpool. Send them down.
I've gone 2-0 Liverpool. I hate backing Liverpool, but I just can't see it going any other way. Bournemouth versus West Ham. Paddy, what's you got for this one?
Bournemouth in a quite decent form, isn't they? So West Ham, to be fair, actually. I'm going to go Bournemouth. Ryan Christie, hat-trick. 3-0.
3-0.
Liam's like, fuck off with yourself.
Liam, thoughts?
I want a Bournemouth win just so I can go back into work and just
either of these winning's bad for you, isn't it?
I keep saying
Why
Bournemouth
Andy's
safe.
gone 1-all.
Bournemouth are safe for me. 3-1 Bournemouth.
Yeah, fair dues. Mark has gone 2-1 West Ham, which is the same as what I've got. 2-1 to West Ham. Sorry. Finally, on Sunday, Newcastle versus Spurs. This one to kill off Spurs' top 4 hopes.
Fuck Newcastle. This is the way they how I feel. Say 17-1 to Spurs.
Where's the disconnect button? How do you kick Paddy out of this thing? I've got us 2-1, winning 2-1 here. Paddy, you've turned to static, mate.
Have you got me now?
There we go.
There we go. I think 3-0 Spurs. 3-0 Newcastle, sorry.
Are we sure?
Definitely 100%. You've got that in the bag, mate. There's no way Spurs are going to beat you at home.
I shouldn't think so, but I think they'll make a game of it, hence 2-1. Liam, what do you think?
It depends if Anthony Gordon starts, isn't it, really? He was your jinx the other week.
The
jinx. But no, I reckon you'll have too much. 3-1.
Same as Andy.
Comfortable.
Mark's got us going 1-0, and Kev has got us 2-0. A lot of people not backing Spurs to score. You do realise they've got that big chin git up front who does like scoring against Newcastle.
Overrated.
I've heard that argument before. He's overrated because all his goals are tap-ins. All right, okay, so they don't count then?
No.
Fuck off. Get to fuck.
I like that. You almost get the accent right there. Get to fuck. You still think you'll sign James Maddison this summer?
I've had such confidence that we're going to sign Maddison for so long that now I genuinely don't think we will.
No.
I think if it should have happened in January, and I don't think it's going to happen in the summer. I think we've moved on.
That's a shame. Learned his trade in Scotland. Good player. He'll
be in Botman's pocket. Harry Kane, Botman's pocket. That's it. Didn't I like after Botman's performance last week?
Who's Chelsea playing today?
Madrid, yeah.
Madrid.
Yeah. That Milan results, mad one. 2-0 now we've got now against Napoli.
Yeah. Mark was getting a bit angry this week about someone saying the same thing about Ollie Watkins. All his goals are tap-ins. So yeah, they don't count apparently. It's such a stupid argument. But yeah, back to Maddison. I still want him, but I think he'll end up at Spurs. I think he's got one of those I'd rather go to London faces.
He's a good player. He did well up here when he played for Aberdeen. He was one of the best players in Scotland at the time. So he was a good player.
Yeah, hello, player. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you anyway. What the fuck's happened to Hearts?
Fuck Hearts.
We give them, have Grant Quall, and they're like, but we're not going to pay him, and we're going to beat every week. Oh, thanks very much.
Unreal, mate. I don't know what's happened ever since he signed Garang. They've slumped. I think the wee man's been a hex on them. So they
Must have been.
Aye, but they've tanked and they've lost their last 6 games. And Aberdeen have came for relegation right up to third position, and looks like they're going to grab third place. So they're 5 points ahead of Hearts now. But we don't like Hearts.
No.
Nah,
fuck Hearts.
Yeah, we don't like Hearts.
Fuck Hearts.
Many Rangers, we don't like them. Yeah. Fuck
Chelsea
as well.
Yeah, fuck Chelsea. All right, yeah, definitely fuck Chelsea. Yeah, I think that's us done for the week. I don't know unless anyone else has got any burning questions.
No,
I'm all good.
Perfect.
I'm glad I prepared for this one.
Yeah, like I say, don't need to be prepared. Just make it up as you go along. It's class.
That's what I do.
We don't do professionalism here. We've got another comment coming in. Oh, cheers, guys. See you Sunday. See you, Andy.
See you, Andy.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching live. If you watched this in a post-recorded, then where were you? We wanted you here at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. We'll be back next week, 8 o'clock on Tuesday. In the meantime, hit like button, share button, subscribe buttons, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.